Hello everybody and welcome back to Dickie's Videos where no war game remains unplayed. Further ado, here we are with the over Tactica, I guess the word is. So this is my first game of the King of the Hill with the Wargaming Gentleman. You've seen the starter playlist. This is me going over the first Viking loss, unfortunately. Remember, I do have 2 lives in this tournament, and I've lost one of them here on the first round against the Gary, the British player. So this is my going over the battle. So I'm going to click play, and we're going to go and have a look at my deployment and what I did and why I did it. So I do apologise if I do skip ahead or try and draw things on here, but yes, it was an unfortunate loss here, but a close one with just that. So we're going to skip to deployment and look what I've used. So of course the Viking forces are brilliant, and I'll just zip to my selection overall and then we can look at it. So there we go. This was my overall selection and my overall thought of the game, and as you can see, I was trying to move up on a hill here. I've got some good heavies in here, of course, scattered around. My berserker's being protected from any archers, and also, of course, 2 blocks of cavalry defending left and right to do pincer movements or anything we can particularly do on that side. But unfortunately, as I did mention in the video, lots of rough terrain that can cause aggro. And my game with this was to push ahead, which we'll see very soon. So let's delete that off and then we'll click play. There we go. Let's go. So we'll have a look and see what my initial moves are. But yeah, I came into this very confident. But the British army list is fantastic. It can be blob tactics in some points, but also you have to try and of course outmaneuver it and outdestroy it. But yeah, there you go. I'm just signing my battle groups as normal, but like I said about the cavalry left and right, I did contemplate after playing the game thinking maybe I should have dismounted some of my housecows and seeing how we pushed them. This was actually a long game. I think this actually the footage was an hour in total. As you can see, we'll look at the British forces here. Is in a nice pack. So first of all I could see here is the fact is the field is like this, and my plan was to take this hill and this way here. But as you can see, he does have some cavalry to the left side that was back and forth for a very, very long time. And of course, no cavalry on this right side of the map here, which of course made me slightly braver overall in there. But yeah, okay, let's click play. But still slightly worried about the like this left side has really annoyed me because he's just put stuff there that can spread out my forces. And as you can see, the British forces here are of course mobbed together, and still quite scared of this really, more than anything else. But I think we're still fine enough. As you can see, he does advance his turning his cavalry back around to face towards back to his line, so he can regroup as a more consolidated force. Like I said, I overestimated the British here, but like I said, 2 lives in the tournament. Keep an eye on this playlist because I will put other tournaments that I play in for the wargaming community, and I'll try and remember to put a link below. But here we go, just the movement, and we'll skip ahead probably until we get to some interesting parts because like I said, this is an hour footage. But I won't try and skip to. But first mistake probably on my point here is over commitment of this cavalry on the right. As you can see, his light cavalry, but also the cavalry from his centre has started to come down to cause more problems against me, and of course just taking down my units. And as you can see, I tried to move up and block with some of the cavalry, some of the infantry, just to cause zone of control issues. But then rough bit terrain are really a pain in the bum, and I'm sitting here changing up my general, trying to get that best POA I can against him. God, this has been a while since I actually played this game, so and there we go. We are all moving up into position. Of course, I think overall I decided that I needed this hill on this. This is where the hill advantage I want, and that I've got to push. But I literally, I don't know if I got too unlucky here or not. I think I played sufficiently well. I mean, I think it's just the number of units of course the British player can have, and we did consolidate into a big blob. And I think looking at his cavalry, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 cavalry on the left, and I think he's got 4. I think he's got 6 cavalry units in total here. So I've got yeah, and this was probably a bad mistake. Yeah, I made some bad mistakes recently, and I think I ignore them here. And then we've got this little separate battle on the left side that takes turns. So yeah, I've got very much outnumbered on the cavalry front here, which of course things, so he does fall back a little bit on that right side. It's not particularly a problem, but I think it's the overall problem once we start engaging in the pushed lines, and I can see it's starting to filter down here. But yeah, it's a good list, both good lists, and like I said, I think he just gets the power on the hill here. And I don't think I were close enough, or should have deployed more to the right of the battlefield to actually take that hill straight away. I didn't notice what I didn't know when I'm playing this game. I didn't notice the amount of medium foot he actually had in this game. So this is the issue. I didn't realise he actually has a lot of medium foot in there rather than shield wall defensive or offensive. So it takes me re-looking at this video and actually thinking, yeah, that was quite interesting actually that he took that. Maybe a point cost issue, or he just wanted to max out his army comparison and just get a mix where he could sit on rough terrain. But yeah, I can't believe this was an hour game, because I think we went really to the wire here, and considering, like I said, he's dropping the general further on forward, and I think we try and push, and it's all about this hill. It really is all about this hill. There we go. I'm just getting mega aggressive here, trying to push as many troops. And I think, okay, pursue this cavalry out of the way. Now, so I was trying to get a cheeky charge to actually block the light cavalry in there. You see, I think I get a really good charge here. I think his general unit flees, hits his main line, and I think we just drop it. Yeah, I think this is... I remember this now. There we go. So first error. I've been outmaneuvered from the day one here. As you can see, my army's over here. My army should all be on this right side or hitting that way. It's too far. The engagement here will engage straight away, but we are of course too pushed back, and we're too reduced on our frontage. Yeah, and I've got what? 5 units of housecarls there, not doing particularly much, when they should be hacking away at all the British warriors, and of course the cavalry on the left side doing particularly nothing at the moment in time. So yeah, a very mismatch, but also getting the POA of this hill here. So if I was attacking this hill, he would get a standard POA. Here we go. This is with the evade. I remember this, the evade in, and I get a bit cocky here, and it drops the unit, disrupts, and there goes the general. That was unlucky for him. But yeah, that's the way the cookie crumbles with that. But even that cavalry, it's particularly in a bad situation. Yeah, we go. Thanks, Richard. Thereby confirming your heathen qualities. Oh, the jokes. I think not a mistake on his part, but a point to say: don't engage the cavalry with your defensive spearmen. Just keep them static. Keep that zone of control. Keep them locked in. Don't give them the benefit of actually fleeing away. But this unit, of course, is going to get hacked up now. We'll put that around. So the lines do actually meet here. It's the mass. It's the mass here that does the Vikings. Does the mass of defense. You know, the Vikings, if they don't break them very well. Like I said, here this one unit just nipping away at all my cavalry reduces that combat effectiveness further on in the game. And there goes the lights filtering back to the main line on the right side. But yeah, that block tactic there is major. Still liking it. And here we are back to my turn, deciding whether to charge. You see, he's got that POA, that advantage of that hill. And looking back, that's where the mistake was. And I think I was debating whether to try and pull him out off that hill to actually come and get us. But here, the housecarls are going to hack away. But any cavalry that would get round my right side and cause an absolute... You see, what I didn't notice is he does have infantry that is medium foot sat on the rough terrain, looking at the place. So that is interesting as well. And there we're going for the charges against the cavalry. Still mainly confident with the 3% victory because of the cavalry exploding. And there's the pushback. Here we go, just now finding that front line here. But out cavalried on this right, out infantry. You can see how much infantry. This is where it starts to slightly dawn on me that I made a mistake with this right side. Because my power is on my left. His power is on his left, which is incredibly my weaker side. As you can see, I've got a good proportion of my forces on this left side not doing anything. And I think we just slightly move up here, so I could probably skip a little bit here. And then the cavalry forming up there. And of course, the combat's there. The disruptor unit on the right side, yeah, so you see his forces now moving up on that right side. And that weight of numbers actually making a difference here. Yeah, this is where I start to panic. Issue. Oh, here it comes. This is where it is. But he doesn't lose these cohesion on that cavalry unit. But yeah, even that unit there is a bit of a pain. Yeah, I could just see it now. I didn't see it when I was playing. Just the mass of infantry on that right flank. Just now, you know, I've got, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4... 4 offensive spearmen and 1 cavalry unit there. When he's got like, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 cavalry plus lights, mass, and most of my army is on that left. And now we're formed up on that left side. You know, thinking that cavalry would do well. I think we're going to skip slightly ahead. Because I think it's mostly deployment. It's not particularly interesting. So there we go. We're just hacking away. I think he lost there. There we go. That unit does drop. And then we charge him on for the drop again with a general in. Yeah, there we go. I don't have to take anybody with them. No, everybody holds firm there with that cohesion check. So this is where I think I start trying to just chip into that corner. But I think that POA of that hill is really going to help. And then I realise we've got some good hits with the berserkers. And then peeling the other berserker unit onto the right. Pretty brutal, but that cavalry wasted on the left. Very much wasted. Okay, we're going to skip slightly ahead, and I think nothing particularly interesting happens apart from that. The main line is just hacking away at each other. I would review every single minute of this, but I think it would of course take an hour. Plus pausing time. So we've got slight lights there attacking us from the left, wearing down the effectiveness of that cavalry. Pretty bad here. But yeah, the weight of numbers here is starting to make an issue, and you're starting to force stuff back off the hill, as you can see, to make way for slightly better units. And there's the engagement on the right, and he's starting to push over here. Oh, that fragment, but my general died. Oh, disordering that unit of offensive spearmen on the right, and there they go. So still not thinking. I got cocky here on that left side because the left is where my power is. I should have pushed more with that cavalry. Okay, we'll skip a couple minutes more in there and see where we are. Okay, as you can see, the power on his left side, my right, is coming into fruition. He's just ignoring the battle now, and this is where he's going to start to scoop round on us. But we are grinding him down on that corner due to the heavy weapons. But I did have that disrupted unit on the right, which is a bit of a pain. It's such a pain, such a pain. This is really harsh. This is, even though we're winning right now, the storm is coming on that right side, and that cavalry unit on the corner, of course, is getting crunched. He decides to charge, but I stood. Yeah, but it's just so much coming around, so much. This is what I miss out. And there's that cavalry infantry unit there now, stuck there in the open, and just going to get surrounded and broken. There goes the cavalry with the PO, losing that POA advantage, just massively there now. And then the defence wall getting fragmented, just holding firm. But a lot of units there, and I can't zone of control them all out. Okay, we'll skip to probably 34 minutes so we can just analyse what's happened here. So, of course, we slightly broke the wall on the left, which was great. We start to push over, but literally we're all powered on the left. We're all powered on the left, which is not good enough, unfortunately. He's got a cavalry unit on the left side, which I can't zone of control out. Of course, a couple of units come out of the woods, which we managed to get a counter charge by pushing the cavalry back over. So, fair amounts of win and loss here. Of course, like I said, we're 24%, and then we get to push out on that extreme left side. And the question is, can we keep pushing this? You see, this is where the number battle comes into thing. And of course, the berserkers aren't particularly fantastic just on their own. And as you can see, the cavalry is everywhere. This is the main thing. His cavalry is now just going to bear down that right side, his left, and come and hurt us. So the flank attack with the berserkers, harsh, but it's just really messy. This is just really messy right now, and there's just not pretty that the fact is he's got all of his cavalry units, but also my units trapped in their own little bubbles. Not great at all. Okay, there we go again. Oh, it's harsh. And I think I was deciding whether to charge in or not, and I thought, blow it, go in. But I think that was a bad decision because we were about to get completely overwhelmed there. But that cavalry push is just brutal. Absolutely brutal. And as you can see, just the cavalry advantage in that left and that right side where he managed just to chuck all this cavalry around this part here is the point where he came with the cavalry, and that is where we're struggling at the moment. And as you can see, the cavalry now all around us, and it's a matter of time till he just grinds us down. So as you can see, this is the mid part of the battle where we're getting quite things. So I'm going to pause it here, and then what we'll do, we're going to switch ahead. I do apologise. Like I said, this, unfortunately, if it was a shorter video, I'll go through all of this, but we'll come down to probably the 53, 54 minute. So as you can see, it's a huge mess. All that right side, what I was worried about, after watching this is why he just think, and of course berserkers, like I said before, have got shot up by his light troops, managed to turn some of the Haskell's from the left side down towards the centre where his cavalry is pushed over, but even them they can't particularly hold on that much, and it's back and forth with that 4% for quite a long time here. But the combat modifiers, but also the cavalry of the Britons just being fantastic. There we go again. It's just them POA modifiers, and literally the cavalry came back eventually on this left side, but too little too late for altering, and there we go. I'm like, please don't break him. Please don't break him. But it is it's just a massacre wherever we go. There we go, dispersed. Not coming back. Yeah, I was worried about the Berserkers just getting shot up even more. And he got a couple of good rallies there on the centre, which are 2 units of offensive spearmen rallied, which I think, and here's the flank. Oh, here we go. That cavalry is just over as like a rash. But we are going to control them out with the infantry. And he pushes straight through. Here's the charge impact. Fragment. Yep, that's it. Oh, that. You see them 2 expensive units there. And then just the mass of men. This is where with being the Viking player, I should have really secured both things. Oh, we got disruption on the fallback there, but just pay little heed. He's got the flanks. He's got the men to do it. I think here I was sitting there thinking, it's going to be close. And it is very close here. But yeah, this unit of irregular foot in the rear, I remember it being very difficult to break, even though fragmented. Yeah, it holds twice with indecisive attacks. There we go, the fragmented unit. And this is where it particularly falls apart on that centre point, because we've got 2 units there on the verge of breaking. Here we go again. We did get a rally, but of course too little too late. And we definitely got a flank there. Brilliant. And I think they survive. Yeah, that's 2 rounds indecisive. I'm trying to flank around with this unit of Huskarls there as well. So I'm stuck here really more than anything else. Cavalry all over the shop. And unfortunately, then Berserkers can only just sit there and take the shots. I think I decided to sit there. I can't remember if I decided to charge. Yeah, bad stuff is just going to happen here. Bad stuff. Oh, look at it. I don't understand why I decided to fight the fragmented unit first. I should have fought that one first, because it was the best pointed cavalry. So we've got 3 units fragmented at this point in the game. I'm trying to fall back and hold some sort of line, which, to be honest, it's not going to work at this point. I think the game is definitely edging towards him more. Here we go. We did the disrupted unit. We hold firm, and there we go. There we go. 56. Looking harsh. Looking harsh. So the final couple of turns just gives us a full lowdown of the happened of that flank, the complete right side. So my situation of this whole game. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, that was me. I thought, and that brings it to 59. And I think the Berserkers would be that 1%. Here's the flank. Didn't they drop? Yeah, was it the Berserkers? I'm sure he could have charged. I don't know if he could have. I don't think he can't charge. I think he shoots them to death. Yeah, there you go. And that brings it to 62. But remember, we've got 2 lives in this tournament, so there'll be more videos coming up very soon. Pretty good videos, a lot of fun. But yeah, decimation on that right flank. Decimation. So I think it kind of pulls out. Yeah, I think I get a rally there. I must have got what rallied? Let's have a look what's rallied, and then we'll skip to the end, because unfortunately a couple of them units are on the verge of getting destroyed. What rallied? Where is it? Oh, the unit of foot there. And then the unit there breaks. And there breaks. So there we go. So that was the harsh reality of the first game of the tournament. Yeah, it was fun. Let me just skip to a point where I can pause it and I can actually do an overview. So we're going to look at it here. The fact is, we deployed here. We came at an angle, but his main forces attacked us on this right side, and then of course most of our. I don't know if it would have been different if. We did shuffle to the right side and have a more concentrated forces here, rather than lots of our housecows on the left side. So there we go. That's this kind of Tactica. We just got outnumbered. So remember that numbers are, of course, a massive thing. The problem is we just left was just too vulnerable there. And yeah, so click that like, subscribe button. Remember to come back for the next game of Vikings, which is coming very soon. And of course, I will do a little run through the game. So yeah, we got outnumbered, outgunned, but we're down, but we're not out. And see you later, folks.